first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us today on what is a really special day. And I hope, this is Danielle's day. So I have to tell you, we are absolutely thrilled that Danielle Robinson has chosen to join the Indiana Fever. She's the caliber of person and player that we think can help us continue to build the championship culture and the championship caliber team that we want to build here in Indiana. So we're just ecstatic, over the moon about it. Danielle's been somebody that I've watched for a long, long time, even before she got to the league. Very highly recruited player out of Northern California, played at Oklahoma, and just has had a phenomenal career, including appearances in the championship series, final series, and also just an all-star and a player that you can build around, and a player that you can trust to lead your team in every way imaginable. So, we're just absolutely thrilled. She's a leader, both on the court and off the court. Brings high energy and a high basketball IQ to the court, and just somebody that I could list accolade after accolade. Trust me when I tell you, she is a championship caliber player. And I know that she is going to do things I can't even imagine right now to help this team take the steps in its growth that they need to take to be in the championship picture. Danielle knows what it's about. Again, we're all just really, really excited that she's joining us. And I'm happy to introduce to you today, Danielle Robinson, newest addition to the Indiana Fever.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. This has been an amazing time for not just me, but my family. We're so thrilled to join the Fever family. I first want to thank our president, Dr. Allison Barber, Ketch, Coach Stanley, for the warm welcome, and the fans that have, DM'd me, that have tweeted me, that have inboxed me wherever they could, to show love and just show how excited they are for me to be joining the team. I think when free agency started, it was about finding a home. These last 4 years, I bounced around a little bit, and I wanted to find a place that I could call home. And I think no better than the basketball mecca, aka the Hoosier State of Indiana. So I'm definitely excited to be joining this team, joining our fan base, joining management in this quest. Obviously, to bring another championship back to Indy, and just looking forward to growing with my teammates on and off the court. I think that was another big thing that drew me to Indy, was the opportunity to make an impact off the court as well, and that's something that is really important for me. It's to me as important as winning a championship is being locked in with the community as well, and so I feel like this is the perfect place for me. Looking forward to, like I said, growing, learning my teammates, and competing with them, to bring it back home.
Awesome. Thanks, Danielle. We'll go to questions now for Danielle. Pat Boylan, you want to start us off?
Hi, Danielle. Can you take us through this process? The free agency journey is different for everybody, but what was most appealing to you about Indiana? And when you look at the roster that you're going to be playing around, how much is the opportunity to be a leader amongst a young group of talented players? How high was that on your priority list?
Yeah, well, that was huge. I think for one thing that I want to say is that, I think we need to change the narrative about Indiana basketball, about us. We have a lot of young talent, but we have the pieces, and chemistry trumps a lot of things. And I think with the right people in the locker room, you can get a lot of things done. And so that's why I was excited to join this team. I've had the opportunity to obviously compete against Tierra McCowan, against Tiffany and Kelsey Mitchell. Got to, obviously watch them compete in the bubble, not just against us, but other teams as well. So I like what they're working with. I think that I can definitely contribute to that area, to the team with my leadership. Obviously now with, finals experience, and really just my ability to come and be myself. And that was also what drew me to Indianapolis, is that I was they told me to come in and be myself. And I think there's no better, gift than to be able to do that.
Caroline Bullock.
Hey, Danielle, it's Caroline from Focus Hoops in the UK. I just wanted to ask, what does playing for an organisation like Indiana, where you've got a coach and a GM who are so integral to the part of to the history of the game, what does that mean to you, being able to be in that kind of culture?
Yeah, well, it means a lot. Female crew for the win. I'm excited about that. To be able to, have our leaders be females, be people that have been around the game for a long, long time and have contributed in so many ways. And so I know not only on the court I'm going to learn, but off the court as well. And that was a big part of also bringing me to the Fever.
Andrew Lipton.
Hi, everybody. First, I just want to say hi to Marianne. It's
Hey,
always
Andy,
good
how
to
are
see
you?
I'm good, thank you. Always good to see you. Danielle, the first time I saw you play was actually in the, I call them the tryouts for the 2016 Olympic team. And there's nothing that you can't do on the court. But what I really love about you is that you're an unselfish team player,
Yeah.
Who could certainly score a lot of points if she had to. Back in the day, Coach was really one of the premier backcourt players in the country when she played for Immaculata. So I'm not surprised that she's thrilled to have someone like you on the team. Can you share maybe some discussions you had with Coach, either before or after you signed the contract, in terms of just basketball, philosophy, technical aspects?
Yeah, we actually had a few conversations. And anytime I had texted her a question, she had, we had a conversation. And so I love that, that open door policy with Coach. But yeah, just, talked about, I guess, the philosophies of the Fever, defensively, offensively, what we're going to be able to do. We just really talked basketball terminology and, what I can help bring to the team. So it wasn't like anything, crazy, but it was amazing to be able to pick her brain a little bit and see where I would fit and see, what kind of system we're going to be running.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Eddie White. You're on mute, Eddie.
Hey,
Always somebody, always somebody.
I got to jump in, Eddie. Wait a minute. It's the first time in my life that you've been speechless. I thought for a second you were speechless, but I was wrong.
Okay, let's pile on. Bring it on. I can take it. Let's everybody rip the old guy who can't push a button. My God of mercy. Okay, so much for good first impressions. Danielle, welcome to Indiana.
Thank
A
you.
very important question. Yesterday was the National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Okay, and it was our organization here, Pace Sports Entertainment, and the Fever put together a phenomenal program about it. We social media wise, we had a great program wise, went out all over the country, did a lot of good things. What's sad to me is there are a lot of colleges and high schools and associations that didn't recognize yesterday. They kind of like, whatever. We got a long way to go.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be joining an organization? Because not all organizations are alike. We know that. What does it mean to you to be joining an organization, whether it's the Pacers, the Fever, Gaming, or whatever? We're headed in the right direction. We're willing to pay the price to do what's right. And that's what the core of this organization is about. The more you spend time with our owner and Tamika and Coach, this organization is one of the few that's going the right direction with all oars. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. Not only to be able to obviously voice how we feel and showcase it, but to actually represent it and be able to go out in the field and be able to actually make these connections, broadcast exactly how we feel. I don't think anybody's going to be questioning, what we stand for. And I think that's huge to be able to make our mark. So it's, part of our legacy as an organization. And so to be able to change lives in many different ways, it's huge. And to be able to, like I said, put our stamp on exactly how we feel and voice exactly how we feel, it's really important.
Thanks, Eddie. Caroline, do you have another one?
Yeah, so you were talking about being a veteran leadership for some of the players on the Fever. Was there a particular player that did a similar thing for you when you came into the league that you kind of looked to help you?
Let's talk about Tully. Tully was in San Antonio when I was a rookie. So between her and Becky, I learned a ton about how to be a professional, how to lead at the point guard position, how to communicate. You can't communicate with everybody the same. You really got to learn your teammates. And I think that was really, really important to me. It's helped shape my career it's helped made it easier for me to connect with teammates immediately. And so shout out to Tully. Make sure you guys give her some love, and Becky as well.
Annie, do you have another one too?
No.
Okay. Anybody else have anything for Danielle?
Ryan, I can jump in.
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
Danielle, wondering how excited you are to team up with Jantel and like what your relationship is like. I know you guys were drafted after each other in the 2011 draft, so just what that relationship is like.
Yeah, well, once Indianapolis, well, I keep saying Indianapolis. Once Afiva reached out, I immediately texted Jantel and was like, "Talk to me." And she was just so excited. She raved about the communication she's had from top to bottom, and she was like, "It felt like home. Like, I would love for you to team up. I think we can do something really, really special. Obviously, we've been around some in our career, but like nothing feels like this. I promise you." And so to be able to talk to her and obviously follow her career, she was drafted 5th, I was drafted 6th in that 2011 class. So we've obviously stayed in contact and supported each other. But it's amazing. We're definitely excited. We've been texting each other every single day, like, let's get to work. Like, we're ready to lead. And I think that's, we're going to be the backbone. And we're looking forward to embracing these roles, but excited about what we can do as well.
Anybody else have anything for Danielle? No. Okay. We'll move over to questions now for Coach Stanley. Pat, you want to start us off again for questions for Coach?
Sure. Hey, Coach, you've obviously got a point guard in Julie who had a terrific rookie year. How much does pairing Danielle with her potentially benefit both players?
Well, that's a really good question. And right now, Julie's overseas playing, and she has this summer, she'll have a commitment with Belgium, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen with the Olympics. So at this point in time, we're not sure exactly what Julie's status will be for the summer. But with that being said, with or without her, Danielle's presence is going to give us another experienced leader on the floor. I think they can play off each other. I think they can help each other. And I think the other piece to this is that Danielle has already mentioned by, I think it was Andy, really, really unselfish player, but knows how to lead. And I think her desire, as well as Jantel's, is to be on a team where they can contribute to the leadership piece, contribute to the overall success in the ways that they just naturally bring that to the floor. And I think you heard Danielle speak to that already. We have a really, really good core group: Kelsey Mitchell, Kiara McCowan, Tiffany Mitchell, Kennedy Burke, Victoria Vivians, Lauren Cox, and now we add Jantel Lavender and Danielle Robinson. Kathleen Doyle will be back. And so we got a good group, and the additions, I think, speak to our desire to continue on that path of leadership, championship caliber players who really want, are hungry to compete for a championship and to do whatever they can within their power to ensure that happens within the team concept. So I think Danielle's just a player that I know has the experience, and watching her compete over these last 9 years in the league, she's gone through injury, she's gone through being an all-star, she's gone through working with USA Basketball to represent the United States. She's kind of seen it all. So I know that body of experience is part of what she brings to this situation. And so, it's exciting. You add to that people like Julie, either this summer or next. We're in it for the long haul, and they can be part of our guard core that's just quality, top to bottom. And that's really, really exciting to add Danielle to this group, and to have the knowledge that she's going to help lead the group in her own special way. And I couldn't be happier. One last thing I'll say about that is, last year in the bubble, I thought Danielle played exceptionally well. Vegas, got to the finals, and they don't get there without Danielle's contribution. And I think my coaching staff and I, we've been watching it. We're saying, it's so good to see her be the vintage Danielle that we know she's capable of being. So I think, she's coming off of that kind of a season, And with her energy and attitude and mindset, I know that it could be a very, very special year ahead for the Fever with her on board.
Andy Lipton again.
No, my hand must be up by mistake.
No,
Thank
okay.
you.
Eddie, there you got another one for Coach Stanley. Don't tell me he's muted again.
No, I'm not muted. No, I have nothing for Coach Stanley. Nothing. But when I see her in person, I got something for Coach Stanley.
You got something for me. Okay, I'll be waiting.
Zach, yeah,
And
one
it's
for
not a box of tasty cakes either. It's not
Gotcha.
a box of tasty cakes.
Got you.
we'll take the crumpets, Eddie. Zach, do you have one for Coach Stanley?
Yeah, you kind of answered just how excited you are to bring Danielle and Jantel in. I guess so. My question would be, what are your expectations for them for this summer?
Well, and like I said, I think, they not only are skilled and talented players who have been part of building great teams and competing at the very highest level into, winning a championship, competing for the championship, right in the final series, getting it done. That's part of it. But the other piece, and I think you see that from Danielle today, just the enthusiasm and the energy that she brings to every situation, any room she walks into, it's like turning the lights on, that's great to have that kind of an energy person, but also extremely high basketball IQ. I think Danielle's the type of person that, if we needed her to score more, she's going to score more. If we needed her to defend and lock somebody down defensively, she's going to do that too. And by the way, just being a great teammate, helping our younger players to achieve their goals and to improve every day. There's going to be no plays off, that kind of stuff. So it's just exciting to have the knowledge that we go into the season with two new players who add that caliber and that quality to our locker room.
Pat, you got another one?
Yeah, we don't yet know the details of the 2021 season, but it seems likely that COVID is going to impact it, at least in some regard, and that there's going to be adjustments necessary again. When you bring in Jantel, you bring in Danielle, how much does their professionalism, their experience help with what's already can be a tough transition in changing teams, and you don't necessarily know what's in store the next few months?
Well, I think just being surrounded by good people. I have to tip my hat to our players and how they handled last summer. I mean, they were really terrific because we were throwing a lot of curveballs, injuries, setbacks, and through it all, they just wanted to play and do what they had to do. So, first of all, let's start there. Our existing team is a team full of talented young women who want to win. And you add to it the caliber of people we're talking about. It's sort of like the sky's the limit. And I think both Danielle and Jantel are the type of players who kind of look at the world that way, like the sky's the limit. Don't put limits on me. I'm not putting limits on myself or my teammates and where we can be and what we can do. So that's exciting. That attitude and that energy is huge. Danielle said it best. Chemistry and heart go a long, long way towards comprising a championship caliber team and a championship culture in your locker room. And so, whether it's on the sales force court, when we're practicing every day, or whether it's, in a game, or it's in the locker room or somewhere breaking bread together, we want people who genuinely love being around each other and will work hard for each other, knowing that collectively we're going to get things done if we all have that mindset.
Caroline Bullock.
Hi, Marianne. You've
Hello.
built a strong offensive team with the players that you have, and obviously adding Danielle to that really improves there. Are there any areas defensively that you're looking at to improve this season, or are you focusing a lot on the offense?
Well, you're being very nice there. I appreciate that, Caroline. Yeah, we were not the defensive team we wanted to be a year ago. That's for sure. So that's a big area for us to improve upon. And I think Danielle is one that will immediately impact that, as well as Jantel. They're savvy veterans. They know how to defend individuals and to run schemes for a team. But I think they're also players that are proud of how they play on that side of the ball. I think Danielle, is a type of player who can immensely impact the complexion of a game at both ends. And again, I'll go back to last year's finals. I thought you saw her really step up her offensive game, but she's always in there defensively, getting it done. I'm sure that if I said, hey, I need you to lock somebody up, she's going to step up and get that done. So she definitely improves us on the defensive side of the ball. And we're going to need that from everyone, not just Danielle.